Hello everyone. Well, I've got success. And if you'll notice, the shim is not all the way in there. What I did was I just tried brute force. Basically, I put my Chinese wire type of tension wrench that won't bend in there, and I basically got this thing pinned up to 6 pins, so I started wiggling it and everything, and I finally forced it to go past that one. So now I'm basically going to remove the core and see what I screwed up. I'll put it on a little pinning mat here when I'm finished with it, and I'll give you an update. But right now I'm going to try to remove the core without dropping everything. Now, what I have learned is do not turn the key to the right when you remove your pins, because they are going to fall into that little, I don't know if they fell into the keyway or if they fell into, yeah, they fell into the keyway, because you need that little lip right there up against these pins, I believe, or up against that pin. Anyway, look, I think I just did it wrong again. I've turned it to the right, which is what I said I shouldn't do. So I'm going to continue turning this sucker around. I'm going to put the shim in there and continue to turn around, because I don't have it right, do I? I turned it to the right, if you're looking at this. And I want this hump up on top up here, I believe. So, hopefully I won't screw this up much more, but I at least have got the core at a different angle. Alright, so the only thing that I forced when I did, I broke off part of a spring. This spring right here, it must have been protruding down. I don't know what I used. I don't know what I did with those key pins. Maybe I didn't even have them. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on. But I gotta find 2 more key pins. I'm gonna look through this package over here of my old lock, the one I butchered, and see if I can recover some pins out of there, because when I pulled this thing apart, I didn't have it right. I said I'd learned my lesson, don't turn it to the right, and I looked at the core, and sure enough, I had it turned to the right. So, because it was shimmed, I just went ahead and yanked it out and let everything fly. And pins went everywhere. And maybe those key pins are hiding around here somewhere, maybe. But I'm going to dig through this little bag and see if I can get, although I need short ones basically for the pin 1 and 2. I'm not gonna try my 5 pin thing anymore. I'm gonna try to put this back together the way it was, with, there's nobody in there. I already looked at it with my light, but I have got this apart. So this is repairable, and this driver pin here is the one that I tried to modify, but I didn't do a very good job of filing it down, but it was fitting in slot 6, so I really don't want to use that one. And all my spools are still good. So that's the update. Persistence. I was really starting to doubt myself, and well, you know, I caused this problem, and I was doubting whether I could even recover from it. And then that would be 2 locks that I'd screwed up, you know, so I'm sure people have screwed up locks before, but you know, you don't have a whole lot of money and you want a functioning lock to play with. Try not to screw it up like I did. Let me get this thing to focus. So there's the damage. and once I get it functioning, I'll record that. But for right now, I gotta find 2 more pins to drop in here. So I managed to find my key pins. They were sitting right here in this part of the tray. So I know I didn't install them. What I must have done is not put those key pins in and just loaded the Bible with the spools, and that's why they were showing up. Basically the springs were acting as the drivers. I don't know, but that's how you can screw things up. These are the right pins because they fit flush when the key's in there. I was gonna have to try to modify something else, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and put it back together, and hopefully I'll have a functioning lock. So when I had damaged this one, this spring right here, and these aren't even these are standard driver pins for certainly not American locks. They're bigger. Schlag. It's for that Schlag I've got over here. So I shall reinstall these, and I think I'm going to put the serrated in pin 6, pin 5, I don't know. I'll mix it up a little bit. I know you want a standard, or at least a serrated pin back there to keep the core from slopping around too much. If you've got all spools, it tends to get sloppy. I'm not exactly sure what position you should have that one in. Usually the last one, so I'll probably put it in pin 5 slot. Move those guys around. I don't know what I do with my, there's my tweezers. Fumbling around. So persistence pays off, I guess, and thinking outside the box, because I tried to single pin pick it and I would get a false set, but with those two being in pin 1 as the key pins and just a spring sitting up there, basically the only way to get it past that was to extra torque force it, and it broke that little spring right off. So I'll give you an update when it's all put together, but that's my progress so far.